Good morning, yogis. Welcome. Coming to you from northeast corner of Ruth Hardy Park with some yogis here with me in person. Welcome to Morning Flow. I'm Leo Bray here for Kristen Olson's Urban Yoga Center. And please visit us online at urbanyoga.org or Kristen Olson's Urban Yoga Center on Facebook to check out the rest of the class schedule and visit the tip jar so you can contribute to help support our classes. You can contribute via PayPal or Venmo or Zelle. So let's get started. We'll start this morning's flow just seated. You don't have to sit the way I'm sitting. Sit or kneel so that you're comfortable. Feel into grounding. Feel where you're touching the ground. Feel into the length of your spine. Sitting tall without being rigid or stiff. Rest your hands wherever you like, whatever position works for you. And close your eyes if you want. Taking some time to just let your breathing slow down and get deeper just by becoming relatively still and focusing on your breathing. It starts to change. Notice the movements of your breathing and take in the sensations that come with these movements. Scan your body head to toe and notice whatever other sensations are present for you at the start of our practice. Just take in how everything's feeling. Making particular note of anything that doesn't feel so good, any soreness or any stiffness you may have. Making mental notes of these things so you can keep them in mind during practice. Remembering that you're free to skip or modify any portion of the practice in order to accommodate what you've got going on. By listening to your body, modifying as needed, you'll find your way to the practice that's best for you. Consider everything but the breathing optional. Everything's a suggestion. Just keep on breathing and you'll be fine. If in addition to our shared intentions of minding our breath and observing our bodies, you want to set your own more specific intention for practice, take the time to let that finish forming in your mind and sink in for a few breaths. And before we start to move around, let's take 3 deep cleansing breaths. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth with a sigh. Let your eyes open if they've been closed still. Bring your hands out to your sides. Rest your fingertips on the ground, staying long in your spine, staying tall. Inhaling, lift your left arm up alongside your ear. As you exhale, reach across to your right. Lean into that right hand. Feel for length from your left hip up through your left fingertips. Inhale to bring yourself upright. As you exhale, come into a twist with your left hand behind you, your right hand over on your left leg. Inhale, lengthen up through the crown of your head. Exhale, invite your body to twist some more. Just explore that with each breath to find how much twist feels like enough on this side today. Maybe the other side will be different. Come on back to center. Inhale, raise your right arm up alongside your ear. As you exhale, reach across to the left. Breathing into your right side. Inhale, come on up. As you exhale, come into your twist. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, twist some more. Let yourself unwind and come back to center. Let's go ahead and make our way up onto our hands and knees. You can rock forward or tip to one side to get there. And come up, open your hands way up, bring your shoulders over your wrists and your hips over your knees. Inhale, bring your heart forward, let your head and tailbone go up. Exhale, bring your heart up, let your head and tailbone come down. Following the pace of your breath. You don't have to go at my pace. After your next exhale, come back to table with your spine neutral. Reach your left foot back and press into the ball of your foot. Send your heel out away from your tailbone. With an inhale, pick your foot up, reach straight back through the sole of your foot like you want to make a footprint on whatever is back there. When I'm indoors, I say footprint on the wall. I don't know where the nearest wall is. With your next inhale, reach your right arm out to the side. If you want to go further, bend that raised leg, reach that hand back. See if you can take hold of your foot or your ankle. Kick into your hand, raise your knee, raise your head a little. Release the bind if you've got it. Let your knee and your hands back down. Reach back and press into the ball of your right foot. Take a couple breaths. With an inhale, pick your foot up and reach straight back. With your next inhale, reach your left arm out to the side. Maybe bend your leg and reach back and see about that bind, that additional stretching for your quads, shoulder. If you're in the bind, release the bind and lower down. Pardon me as I let someone in from the waiting room. We'll start to stand. Your right foot up between your hands and step your left foot up to meet it. Hang out in your forward fold, swaying back and forth, bending and straightening your legs, letting your arms and your head hang down heavy. Your hands might hang down or they might grasp your elbows or clasp behind your head to get traction for your neck. Letting everything in the back of your body lengthen out. Letting gravity do its thing. Exploring the degree of movement that feels good for you. If your hands aren't hanging down, let them hang down again. And nice and slowly nod your head yes. And shake your head no. Inhale to lift up halfway, hands to the front of your legs. Push against your legs. Feel for the crown of your head reaching forward away from your tailbone as your spine lengthens out parallel to the ground. Exhale, relax back down into your fold. Inhale, roll up to standing, hands up overhead. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Let your hands hang at your sides. Lift your left shoulder towards your ear. Shift it back and let it come down. And then your right shoulder up and back and down. Inhale, reach straight out to the side. Spread your wings. Exhaling, reach for your shoulder blades and hug yourself, or if you like, take eagle arms. Intertwine your arms, press your palms together, It's taking eagle. Move your elbows and your hands up and out, away from your chest, away from your face. Inhale to open again. As you exhale, cross your arms the other way. Grab your shoulder blades or take your eagle. Breathe into the space between those shoulder blades, the back of your heart space. Inhale, open up. Exhale, let your arms come down. Start into some sun salutations. A quick note for anybody doing this at home on video. Usually in sun salutations, from forward fold, we step back to plank. From downward dog, we step forward to forward fold. Sometimes on Zoom, I do that the other way around. Walk my hands forward to get to plank, walk my hands back to get to down dog. It's just a little variation that's more camera friendly. And I'll make the cueing a little different to accommodate either one. Just a note, because it's not your traditional sun sal that we do for Zoom, or that I do. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, fold. Make your way to your plank. See what I did there? Feel into your plank, let your hips settle down in line with your shoulders and heels. Or if you go for a shorter plank, let your knees down. Let your hips come down in line with shoulders and knees, of course. Exhaling, slowly lower all the way down. Keep your elbows in close and see how slow you can go, but don't stop breathing as you slow it down, finding strength in the slowness. Let everything down, belly, chin, untuck the toes. Press into your hands, inhale, lift your head and chest to whatever height heart opener works for you. Maybe it's just a low cobra like that. Any height of cobra or upward facing dog when you're ready. Listen to your low back on every heart opener, every sun salutation. Exhaling, rock back, maybe pass through table, and slowly make your way to our first downward facing dog of the practice and walk that dog. Pedal your feet up and down. Heels coming closer and closer to the ground. Back of the body lengthening, everything in the back lengthening. Make your way to forward fold again. Inhale to lift up halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale all the way up, hands overhead. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. And go through a few more of those and vary each one a bit. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale halfway up. Exhale down. Make your way to your plank. So the variation this time is just making it more continuous. When you're ready, exhale lower, maybe just halfway this time. Inhale to open your heart, your cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale back and up, find your downward facing dog. Make your way to forward fold again. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. The next one will add extra breaths all along the way and slow the whole thing down. Inhale up. Exhale here. Inhale here. Exhale, fold. Inhale here. Exhale here. Inhale halfway up. Exhale here. Inhale here. Exhale, fold. Inhale here. Exhale here. Make your way to your plank. Take at least one full breath in the plank, inhaling and exhaling. Then I need another inhale because I want to lower down on the exhale. Exhale, lower halfway. If you can, inhale here. This is challenging. Exhale here. Inhale, bring your heart forward. It's okay if you couldn't do that and you drop your knee. Exhale. Inhale. Getting hot out here. Exhale, back and up to down dog. Inhale. Exhale. Make your way to forward fold again. Have an inhale and an exhale. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale here. Inhale here. Exhale, fold. Inhale here. Exhale here. Inhale, roll up to standing, hands overhead. Exhale here. Inhale here. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale here. Exhale here. The next one will go more quickly without those extra breaths. Inhale up. Exhale down. Quick breaths can still be deep. Inhale halfway up. Exhale down. Make your way to your plank. On an exhale, when you're ready, lower halfway. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, back and up. Make your way to forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, down. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Drop your hands at your sides. If you like, close your eyes. If you feel dizzy at all, keep your eyes open. Just feel the energy coursing through your body. Take in the little swaying that comes with your breath. You're never really still. Your body knows how to stand. Just feel how that combination of the slower sequence followed by the quicker sequence, nicely invigorating. It's nice to just pause and take some noticing breaths here and there. Open your eyes if they're still closed. Bring your hands to your heart. We're going to come to a lunge with left foot forward, right foot back. So depending on how you're set up, you're either stepping your left foot forward or stepping your right foot back. All 10 toes aiming the same way. Show you this angle. So I don't want to let this knee go forward past this ankle. And we're going to rock in our hips like this. And I want my toes pointing the same way so that my knees move in a safe and steady way. You can bring your arms up and add an arm movement in. Exhale, sink forward in your hips, lower your arms. Inhale, come up. See, my knee is sneaking forward past my ankle, so I'm sneaking my foot forward to give my knee more room. The leg movement can be as big or small as you want. How do your legs feel? You can also drop the back knee, do a lower lunge with the same kind of rocking in the hips. That's steadier that way. Maybe that's what you need. From the top, let's twist. Reach your left hand forward, reach your right hand back, and twist to your right. Come back through center and twist to your left. Maybe that's where you get more wobbly and drop that back knee. I got more wobbly, but I managed to keep the knee up. Come back through center. Bring your hands to your heart. With a big push off the back foot, step forward. Find your other lunge, right foot forward and left foot back. Think of dropping an anchor from your pelvis to the ground. When you're steady in the placement of your feet and legs, bring your arms up overhead. Exhale, sink forward, lower your arms. Inhale, glide up. And I think we did 6 or 7 of them. Maybe you're going faster than me or slower than me. We aim to do approximately the same number of repetitions on each side. Keyword, approximately. Sometimes counting is hard. Remembering is hard. Let's twist to the left. Come back through center and twist to the right. Come back through center. Bring your hands to your heart. Push off the back foot, step forward. Pausing for a drink. You pause for a drink whenever you need to. I'm also pausing. I'm remembering something that the boss gave me that I forgot to put in place. This will just take a moment. So thoughtful. Years of experience, she said, wet a scarf and put it in the freezer. You tie it around your neck, and then it's on those big arteries in your neck, cooling the blood that goes to your brain. So we'll start into some more sun salutation movement, but then we're going to add in some other things. Start to open the hips up even more. A lot of hip exploring today. I don't know why Kristen didn't give me scarves for these people here. They're feeling left out now. Kristen, you should have told them. So start to flow some more, get into some more hip opening. We're going to work our way up to pigeon, do some deep hip opening. Inhale up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, fold down. Make your way to plank. If your arms get tired on sun salutations, you can go from plank to down dog. Otherwise, exhale, lower halfway. Inhale, bring your heart forward. Exhale, back and up. Sometimes the options are something you didn't think of or hadn't tried before. Inhale, lift your left leg up high. Bend your knee and stack your hips. Now, two options here. You might flex your foot and make circles with your knee in each direction, or you might flip your dog by letting that foot drift towards the ground, letting the left hand reach up and the hips reach up, and it makes it a little harder to talk. Some places they call it rock star. Some places they call it wild thing. It's got a really long name in Sanskrit, which means the ecstatic unfolding of the jubilant heart, or something very beautiful that I'm not quite remembering. This is flip, gently flip back. That's a long time. Square your hips down. Exhale, draw your knee towards your left elbow and take a breath. Inhale, reach your leg way up. Exhaling, draw your knee towards your right elbow and take a breath. Inhale, reach your leg up. Exhale, draw your knee towards your chest and send your foot over to the right side. Rest the outer edge of your foot on the ground, the pinky toe edge. Star pose, that's called. If you want to go further, bring your right hand in towards your heart and on up towards the sky, falling star. If you're wondering about this frozen scarf, it makes water run into your eyes when you go upside down. If your hand's up, bring it down. Bring your knee back to center, reach your leg way up, and then we'll come to our pigeon. So exhaling, draw your knee towards your left wrist and your ankle towards your right wrist. Let that lower leg land on the ground like that. Let the right knee down, uncurl the right toes. And take a look at that right leg and see that it's straight behind your hip. Press into your hands. Inhale, lift your head and chest, open the midline. Exhale, walk your hands forward. Maybe come down onto your elbows, your forearms. You might have yoga blocks or a bolster under your arms. And you're just surrendering to gravity and breath here to see how low your hips want to go. Maybe if I give a little diagonal view here, that's better. So as your hips continue to go lower, you might slide that right knee back, that right foot back. You might walk your arms and your hands forward. Your head might even come down to the ground or rest on a block or your arms or a pillow. And you just breathe and see what happens. So not trying to push the hips to the ground. We're just letting them go. Let them find the release, asking how much they want to open instead of telling them how far to open. Breath and gravity and the wisdom of your body, your hips will open as much as they need to if you just give them the time, the space, and of course, the strategic position that facilitates it. Now, this is a lot of pressure on this folded leg, so depending on what you've got going on in your body, pigeon might not be your thing. You can lie on your back and cross one ankle over the opposite knee, and then draw your knee towards your body by bringing your hands behind your thigh. That's a nice hip stretch without putting the weight of your body on top of your knee and your ankle. One of our friends here is doing that. Didn't need to be told because she's been practicing a long time. And she reminded me to share it with the folks watching on screen, now or later. We're going to take our time to come out. When you're ready, you can stay there a little longer if you want. Start to scoot your elbows back. Come up onto your forearms. Make your way up onto your hands. And again, we want to press into the ground, lengthen the arms, lift the head and chest. Now, if you want here, you can bend that back leg. You can take another bind. I like to use the opposite hand. Some people like to use the same hand. It makes me tip over most of the time. But I'm making sure to aim my sternum forward and not twist my body too much as I do this. Release that bind. If you've got it, plant that left hand and right foot. Press into the ball of your foot to engage your leg. Lift your knee. Press into your hands. Lift your left leg back up. And let's do this thing again. Bend the knee. Stack your hips. Flex your foot. Make a couple circles with your knee in each direction. Pigeon is great for the joint, but it pinches your femoral artery. This movement helps open it up and speed circulation back into that major vessel. Square your hip down, lower your leg. Inhale, lift both heels, maybe even rock onto your toes. Exhale, lower your heel. Inhale, raise your right leg. Bend your knee and stack your hips. Flex your foot and circle your knee, or if you like, flip your dog. Staying with your breath. Just flip nice and gently, foot back, and square your hips down. Exhale and draw your knee towards your right elbow, and take a breath. Inhale, reach your leg back up. Exhale and draw your knee towards your left elbow, and take a breath. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale and draw your knee towards your chest, send your foot over to the left side for star pose. If you like, bring your left hand in, reach your left hand up for fallen star. If the left hand is raised, exhaling, bring it down, ground into it. Bring your knee back to center, reach your leg up high. Exhaling, slowly take your time. We'll come to the other pigeon. Knee coming forward towards right wrist, ankle towards left wrist. Let the leg land, let the left knee down, uncurl the left toes. Check the alignment of that leg. If it's going off to one side, it will impact how your hips open. Press into your hands, inhale, lift your head and chest. Exhale, release, melt forward. Walking hands forward, come down onto your arms. And remember, allowing room for the pose to evolve. As the hips open and settle, surrendering to gravity and breath, scooting the left knee back, the elbows forward as needed. And just breathing into whatever arises. And a word about that, pigeon can undo a lot of things. And there's the mundane, muscular tension, fascial adhesions, tightness in connective tissues. But there's also energetic things that get stuck in our hips. Most of us are aware that we store stress, the effects of stress in our neck and shoulders. Many aren't aware that we store nearly as much, maybe just as much, maybe more, in the hips. And we do this deep hip work, old stuff can get released. So sometimes emotions suddenly come up that don't have a conscious thought associated with them. You can be in pigeon and suddenly feel giggly or angry or sad, and you have no idea why. And the good news is you don't need to figure it out. You can just take a big exhale and let that stuff go, whatever it was. No need to analyze here. Just breathe, release, open, settle. Sometimes you think you're down as low as you're going to go, and then one more exhale, there's a little more release there. So stay a little longer if you like. If not, start to rewind everything. Make your way back up onto your hands. And if you like, bend that back leg and reach back and see about that bind, that additional stretching. Some people who can bend more than I can, they bring the foot right to their back or to their armpit, or they reach back and grab it with both hands. There are people who can put the sole of the foot on the back of their head. I am not one of them, as you can see. Not yet, that's right. Release the bind if you've got it. Plant your hand. Plant your foot. Take your time. Big inhale, push back. 2 three-legged dog. Last time, bend your knee. Stack your hips. Flex your foot. Make a couple circles with your knee in each direction. Square your hip down. Lower your legs. Inhale, lift both heels. Maybe rock onto your toes. And exhale, lower your heel. And walk your hands back to your feet. Inhale to lift up halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale, roll to standing, hands up overhead. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. And we'll play with some balancing. Now, the first balance we're going to do is another way to explore the hips. It's often done as an alternative to pigeon. Some people call it standing half pigeon. It does have a similar benefit, and yet it can feel different too. So no harm in doing both of these things. We'll just check it out. Maybe you'll go further in this than you have before because you haven't done it after pigeon in the past. Hands at your heart. If you're standing on a thick mat, you might step off it. The less padding underfoot, the better. Shift your weight from one leg to the other. Set your eyes on something straight ahead that won't move. Help steady yourself by anchoring your gaze. Bring the weight into your right leg. Raise your left knee. Cross left ankle above right knee and dial left knee towards the ground. Flex left toes towards your shin. You're going to release as if sitting down, releasing the front of your right hip in the back of your right knee and the front of your right ankle, pressing your hands together and pressing your hands to your sternum. Think of your elbows approaching your knee and your ankle, and you might stand by the wall or a piece of furniture or a tree. You could reach out for assistance. If you get this contact, it's nicely steadying, but you don't have to get this contact. If you do come down low like this, when we inhale and slowly stand, you can do this. You can grab your arm and sort of support it with, grab your leg and support it with your arms. You can trip over your words as you fall. Anyway, that feels neat in the hip. Sometimes it goes more smoothly like that. Shake your leg. It feels neat in your hip when you can support your leg with your arms as you come up, and it looks kind of funny, which is a bonus. Maybe shake it out before doing the other side. When you're ready, hands at your heart and shift back and forth as many times as you like to reset yourself. When you're ready, bring your weight into your left leg. Raise your right knee, cross your ankle, dial your knee down, flex your toes up towards your shin. Start to release. Find your way down into your standing half pigeon. It's actually the most proper name I know for it. I think it's often called figure 4 leg squat thingy. Kind of an inexact name. Stay with your breath. And if you come out and need to come back in, we all fall sometimes. It's harder on grass, by the way, than it is on a hardwood floor. It's even harder on sand or snow, I can tell you. Inhale, stand, release, lower down. That time I did it more smoothly. Shake it out. Never say gracefully. Maybe do a little dance. There's some other folks in the park exercising in another way off camera that have music I can just barely hear. So we're going to explore some more with the hip, kind of taking it in another direction. Bring your hands to your heart. You want to shift again? Feel free. When you're ready, bring the weight to your right leg. Raise your left knee. Should be alternating legs. If I didn't alternate legs, feel free to alternate. Sometimes I lose track. You want to keep this hand pressing to the chest. Drop this hand and grab your foot or your leg in whatever way you can. I'm grabbing my big toe, but you can grab the edge of your foot inside or outside. You can grab shin, calf, or behind the knee and reach your foot forward. Maybe open out to the side, and maybe extend this hand out away from the other hand. And just see how far it goes. I never know till I'm doing it how far it's going to go. Bring the hand back to the heart. We try to rewind slowly with control when we can. Shake things out. We all get mixed up on our sides sometimes, as long as everybody gets both sides. When you're ready, shift back and forth as much as you want. Drop the weight to the other leg. Raise your knee. Drop the hand on that side. Find your grip on your foot or your leg. Doesn't have to be like mine. Spine stays long. Hand presses to the sternum. Extend the leg. If you can, open the gate of the hip. If you can, extend to the side. Rewind with whatever degree of control you can muster. I never said make it pretty. Shake it out. And let's all have a seat. Maybe you already had a seat. That's part of choosing your own way, finding your own practice. Taking your own drink. You don't have to wait for me to drink in order to have a drink. So first, let's extend the legs forward. Flex the feet back towards you. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, fold down over your legs. If your knees want to bend here, just let them bend. Inhaling, think of the crown of your head coming forward. Exhaling, think of lowering some more. Inhale, slowly walk your hands up the front of your legs and sit up. Now let your arms help your legs open out to the side. If you're watching this on video later, that is not static. Those are cicadas you're hearing. We're in the park. We have passersby, we have music, dogs, cars, and we have cicadas. Let your arms keep helping your legs. Bend your right leg and bring your foot over by your left thigh or left knee. Pivot your body. Aim your sternum at your left foot. Flex those left toes back towards you. Inhale, reach up overhead. Exhale, fold down over that leg. Again, as you inhale, think of the crown of your head coming forward. As you exhale, think of lowering some more. Now, we've been doing this one a lot. We do this pretty much every day because it helps undo compression in the low back that we get from sitting a lot. But here's something we're going to add in today. Keeping the right hand there, reach your left arm out to the side and turn your head to track the hand. If you like that and want to go a little further, you might bend your elbow, press your hand to your sacrum or thereabouts, and peel that left shoulder back. So there's a similar twist we do in the other direction. We'll still do that one. This one's a new addition. Get into some nice stretching on a diagonal pattern across the back. And it gets all the way from the neck through the shoulder, down the back, and into the outer hip. Extend the arm again and bring that left hand back over by the right hand. And now similarly, bring your right hand in towards your heart and out to the side. This time let's rotate the palm back, the thumb down, then fold the arm to the low back and peel that right shoulder back. Thinking out loud here, I think when I did that other twist, I rotated my arm, but I didn't cue it. There's a refinement for the teacher to work out. Yanni, who's on screen here with us, actually came up with both of these spines. And I think I added the shoulder, drawing back. Extend the arm again, undo the rotation, reach your arm up alongside your head and then over your head in the direction of the other hand. There you go. Reach up, reach out to the right, bring your hand back through center and over by your left hand and walk your hand up the front of your leg. You can let your arms help your legs extend this one, then the other one, bring it across, pivot your torso, flex your foot back towards you. Inhale, reach up overhead. Exhale, fold down over your leg. Spending a couple of breaths there, seeing if the fold deepens with the action of the breath. And then take your time. Reach that outer arm out to the side, turn your head to track your hand. And yes, now that I'm paying attention to it, there is a rotation here. Palm back, thumb down, and then fold the back of the hand to the sacrum, peel the shoulder back. It's a pretty involved stretch. To me, it feels pretty good. Lots of things being stretched there in a couple of breaths. Extend your arm again, undo the rotation, bring that hand back by the other hand. And then bring this hand through center and out to the side. Rotate that arm. Bring the hand to the back and peel the shoulder back. As I peel the shoulder back, because I'm holding onto my foot, the extended leg is lengthening even more. And that'll happen even if you're not holding your foot. You might be holding your ankle or your shin or even your knee, getting different degrees of that sensation. So it's also really a great calf stretch and hamstring stretch, depending on what grip you've got there on the extended arm. Extend this arm again, undo the rotation, reach up alongside and over your head. And rewind, bring the arm up and out, back through center, left hand back by right hand, walk your hands up your leg, and let's sit up. Your arms help your legs, extend this leg out, and nudge them in towards each other, bring the soles of your feet together. Slide your hands under your ankles if you can, and over your ankles if you can, and grab the floor, the ground, whatever you got. Walk your hands forward. Pretzely fold. Let your neck relax. Let your head bow down towards the ground. Breathe into the middle of your lower back, that spot right above your sacrum that we have been decompressing here with our other folds. Forward folds, any forward fold. Forward folds are great for depression. That's an energetic aspect to these postures. Depression is not just a winter thing. Lots of things can cause it. Comes in many forms and different degrees. Start to scoot your hands back and press up to a seat. One more fold. Soles of the feet together. Now bring the heels in close to the pelvis. This is a more common one. Interlace your fingers, grab the tops of your toes, wriggle. Bring the bones in your seat closer to the ground, tilting your pelvis. Inhale, lengthen up through the crown of your head. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward with a spine that's nice and long. When the long spine stops coming down, let your neck relax and your head drop down. Breathe into your hips. Maybe your arms are pressing down on the inside of your legs and nudging your hips open more. So this one is more about the hips than the low back, though of course you can still find some additional release in the low back. Inhale, slowly sit yourself up. Bring your hands to the outside of your knees, nudge your knees up towards each other. Plant your feet. Plant your hands out past your hips. Wiggle your feet further apart, maybe to the edges of your mat if you're on a yoga mat. And let your knees go back and forth. This thing is not a yoga mat. This is a plastic rug. I'm not going to bring my feet all the way to the edges of it because it's too wide. If you were with us last Thursday, this was the point where I had put my right hand down on a fire ant nest and class got interesting in a way we didn't intend. So if you want to find that on YouTube, it happens at about 46 minutes in. Johnny was here for it. We should rename that one, Fire Ant Flow, and watch it go viral. Now, it's not really all that funny. It wasn't funny at all at the time. Let's come down onto our back. So I'm going to spin. Bring your hands behind you, lower to your forearms, into your back. And let's extend the legs out, and we'll take fish pose, which is a great energetic counter for pigeon. Zip your feet and legs together. Raise your right hip, slide your hand under your butt, palm down, and sit on the back of your hand. And then the same with the left hip and left hand. So you're sitting on the backs of both your hands, still drawing your feet and legs together. And walk your elbows in towards each other, bringing your weight out of your back and into your forearms. So you've lifted your back, or most of your back, up off the ground. Feet and legs still zipping together. Now lift your head and chest. So you press into your elbows. Keep your shoulders, your chest lifted. Let your head sit back nice and slowly. You want to let the crown of your head just barely touch down. So you're not putting pressure on your neck, but you're opening your throat and your heart way up. We take some huge breaths. On the exhales, release whatever sound wants to come out. Think of the cicadas. Don't be shy. Make noise. Just as things get stuck in the hip, things get stuck in the throat. Your throat might be blocked by something you needed to say and didn't say, or some energy gets stuck there because you said something and then wish you didn't. Come out nice and slowly, just as we came in. Lift your head, come all the way forward and tuck your chin in towards your chest. Then let your shoulder blades down, and then let your head down. And then lift each hip and free up your hands. If your hands went a little numb, you could bang them on the ground or do the starfish dance party, which is this. Wake your hands up. Draw your knees to your chest, hug your knees, rock and roll on your back, massage it against the ground. I should give credit to Liza in Boston for calling it Starfish Dance Party. At least that's where I picked it up. I don't know if Liza invented it, but they're the one that I heard it from. It's Liza. Liza at Four Corners Yoga and Wellness, if you want to look Liza up. And let's see about a deeper twist here. We did nice hip work today. This one should be good. Let your right foot come down on the ground. Cross your left knee over your right knee. Now, if you can't do that, that's okay. You could cross your ankle over your knee. Do that leg shape instead. Reach your arms out to the side. Feel your shoulder blades press to the ground. Let your legs come over to the right and turn your head to the left. Keep those shoulders grounded. And just let your breath bring you out. See how far the legs might want to go. Come slowly back to your center, and then switch the cross of your legs, right knee over left knee or right ankle over left knee. If that's not your thing, let your legs come to the left and turn your head to the right, and keep your shoulders on the ground. Come back up to center, uncross your knees, draw them in towards your chest, reach your feet towards the sky, reach your hands up, grab your legs or your feet, and play with bending and straightening your arms and legs, exploring movement in happy baby pose. If there's some other inversion you would like to do, feel free to do it. If you fancy a shoulder stand, a plow, a headstand. If you're not outside like we are, maybe you come over by the wall or a piece of furniture to rest your legs on the furniture or the wall for a supported inversion. You can invert for as long as you like. I like to give it at least a minute. Sometimes longer is nice. Sometimes you end practice in an inversion, taking Shavasana with your legs up the wall. But invert for as long as you like. If there's some other posture, some other movement you'd like to include that would help you feel more complete in your practice, go ahead and do whatever that is. Do your thing. When you feel complete, make your way to your final resting pose, which may be classic corpse pose, Shavasana, with your legs extended, your feet splayed open, your hands resting at your side, but that's just one option. It's more important to be comfortable than it is to be in this posture. So this is the way that classically we end the practice, but you can conclude practice in any position where you can be comfortably still for a few minutes with breathing and relaxing, and most importantly, integrating the benefits of your practice, because that's what this quiet stillness does. And the quiet is an internal thing, because it's not so quiet externally. There might be a teacher talking, there might be cicadas, there might be traffic. But we can always find that inner quiet regardless of what's going on inside. I mean, regardless of what's going on outside. See, even if you trip over your words, you can come back to that inner quiet and just laugh at yourself. Maybe you focus on your breathing. Maybe you come back to an intention you had set for yourself and reflect upon that. Consider how you might extend it into the rest of your day and carry your yoga off the mat with you. Maybe you just let your mind drift like a hummingbird or a cicada or a cloud. With practice, you can find calm and stillness and inner quiet regardless of the environment. I mentioned a few minutes ago my friend and colleague Liza at Four Corners Yoga and Wellness Fest in Boston, in Dorchester specifically, where I used to teach. And I used to teach classes for these folks in conjunction with our neighborhood farmers market on Friday afternoon on the plaza in front of a bar. Picture, 5-way intersection, bar, fire station, and subway station with farmers market. And yes, we laid on the bricks with pedestrians and bicycles and strollers and skateboards and sometimes drunk people, fire engines, all going by. And we got quiet and still in the midst of all that. And yes, sometimes people would doze off in Shavasana even there on the plaza. And opinions vary. Some people feel on Zoom that you should talk more. Some people really like the quiet. I'll give you at least a little quiet. in your Shavasana before we wrap things up. Start to give yourself some deeper breaths.